Hi, United fans. Welcome to Stratford Report Man. United News Manchester United sources have rejected claims made by Saudi sports supremo Turki Al-Sheikh that the club is in advanced negotiations over a sale to a new investor. On Wednesday, Al-Sheikh, who has 7.2 million followers on X External, wrote on the social media platform, "The best news I heard today is that Manchester United is now in an advanced stage of completing a deal to sell to a new investor. I hope he's better than the previous owner, and while it is not certain whether United want to play a Saudi Pro League club or a similarly placed European giant, such as AC Milan," head coach Ruben Amorim said last week, "We have to do it. We knew that when we missed Europe, we had to compensate for a lot of things, including our fans and the budget, so we are putting it all together to do that." On Sunday, Al-Sheikh unveiled the latest Riyadh season schedule, which did not include any football, though it is thought a game could be added, and said the brand value of the list of sporting events has now reached $3.2 billion, £2.39 billion. Meanwhile, Sir Jim Ratcliffe mentioned Arsenal's faith in Mikel Arteta when saying he would like to give Ruben Amorim 3 years at Man UT. But how does his record in his first 50 games in charge compare? Have your say in our poll. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has cited Mikel Arteta's miserable start as Arsenal boss as a reason to have patience with Manchester United's under-fire head coach Ruben Amorim. But how do their first 50 games in charge really compare? Moving on. Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years, the Manchester United minority owner told the Business Podcast. Football is not overnight, it's 3 years. You also look at Arteta. He had a miserable time over the first couple of years. Man United up for sale? Saudi boxing supremo Turki Al-Sheikh claims Red Devils are in an advanced stage of completing a deal to sell to a new investor, and appears to aim a dig at the Glazers. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Amorim needs 3 years to prove he is a great coach, says co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Amorim will complete a year at the Old Trafford helm in November, but his record since arriving from Portuguese club Sporting has not been good. United finished 15th in the Premier League last season, their worst performance since the 1973-74 campaign, in which they were relegated from the top flight. Despite a summer transfer outlay in excess of £200 million, they have already lost 3 times in the league this season and been knocked out of the EFL Cup by League Two Grimsby. Although sources close to Ratcliffe had stressed Amorim was not in any immediate danger, a fresh round of speculation before last weekend's 2-0 victory over Sunderland suggested Amorim was at risk of losing his job if United had failed to win. However, in an interview on the Times The Business Podcast, External, Ratcliffe says that was not the case and feels good guy. Amorim will need an extended amount of time to prove his worth. "He has not had the best of seasons," said Ratcliffe. "Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years. That's where I would be." Shifting focus to Manchester United, realize they have missed out on their biggest payday in relation to selling captain Bruno Fernandes. But sources insist a move could still become possible next year. United could have cashed in as much as £100 million during the summer transfer window when Fernandes had the opportunity to move to Saudi Arabia. Bruno. Fernandes wants to stay at Manchester United. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes, 31, does not plan on leaving the club in January despite interest in the Portugal midfielder from Saudi Arabia. However, United and England defender Harry Maguire, 32, is hoping to sign a new contract with his current deal at Old Trafford set to expire at the end of the season. Meanwhile, United Fabrizio Romano confirms Tyrell. Malaysia will leave Manchester United next summer. Tyrell Malaysia, the promising Dutch left-back, is reportedly on the brink of leaving Manchester United at the end of the current season. After joining the club in July 2022 from Feyenoord, Malacia's tenure has been marked by both promise and challenges. His impending exit raises critical questions about his future and the ongoing evolution of Manchester United's defensive strategy. Turning on Man United get definitive. Frenkie de Jong transfer response after FW's agreed. Frenkie de Jong has confirmed that he's very close to signing a new contract at Barcelona, putting a definitive end to talk of him joining Manchester United. De Jong, 28, was former boss Erik ten Hag's dream signing shortly after his appointment in the summer of 2022, having enjoyed success together at Ajax. Then United chiefs Richard Arnold and John Murtough traveled to Spain in an effort to finalize a deal for the midfielder, agreeing on an initial fee of £56 million with cash-strapped Barca. De Jong, though, wasn't on board. News for Manchester United fans: sidelined since last February due to a ligament injury, Lisandro Martinez could make his much-anticipated comeback in November. According to The Sun, the Argentine defender, a cornerstone of United's back line, hasn't featured in any matches this season, but his recovery is progressing well. The Red Devils' medical staff are hopeful he will rejoin training as soon as the international break is over. Meanwhile, Wayne Rooney believes Manchester United got the tactics right in their victory over Sunderland, crediting Ruben Amorim's side for simplifying their play and showing greater control after a nervy opening spell. Speaking on the Wayne Rooney Show on BBC Sounds, the former United striker singled out Senna Lamens's composure and Benjamin Sesko's physical presence as key factors in securing what he called a massive win for the team and their manager. "I think the keeper's done well," said Rooney. "He's obviously had the misjudgment where he's come out of the box, and that could end up in a different way. But I thought in the main he simplified things, which for a keeper is not a bad thing. He didn't take too many touches on the ball. He got the ball forward quick, and it was effective. Sesko has been good at winning headers in the air and Mbeumo running in behind him, so I actually thought Manchester United got the tactics right. I think Amorim slightly changed his tactics and went with two forwards up top, and it worked certainly for the first 30 minutes. Sunderland had to change it early on in the first half, and then from there, they saw the game out well. Sunderland didn't really cause that many problems. The result was the most important thing." Rooney also highlighted Sesko's influence up front, saying the forward's strength and movement gave United a focal point and created space for the likes of Bryan Mbeumo and Mason Mount to exploit. "I think he's a handful, and he uses his body well. He challenges for balls, and it makes it easier for Mbeumo, Cunha when he's on, or Mount to make runs in behind him. So I think that's clearly something they've worked on. But that's not all. We're also diving deep into Matheus Cunha's incredible reaction after being dropped to the bench against Sunderland. While some players would complain or throw a tantrum on social media, Cunha did something that shocked everyone. And trust me, his response tells us everything about what's really happening behind the scenes at United under Ruben Amorim. And here's where it gets even more interesting. We've got exclusive insights into the Mason Mount versus Matheus Cunha battle, breaking transfer news involving Marc-Andre ter Stegen that Fabrizio Romano would be all over Harry Maguire's contract situation that could save the club millions. And the real reason why Sir Jim Ratcliffe should be losing sleep over Manchester United's vanishing influence on English football. From Gordon Hill's passionate plea about our disappearing history, to the tactical breakdown of Amorim's system, to what this all means for United's future and our chances of climbing back to the top four, we're covering everything. We'll analyze the stats, break down the social media reactions, and give you the full picture of where United really stands right now. Stick with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal exactly what needs to happen for United to turn this crisis around, and why the next few weeks could define our entire season. If you're a true Red Devil supporter, you cannot afford to miss this. Let's get into it. First off, let's set the scene with that Saturday afternoon clash at Old Trafford on October 4th, 2025. Manchester United hosted Sunderland in the Premier League, and it was a match we needed to win, heading into the international break. Ruben Amorim's side delivered a solid 2-0 victory, with goals coming in the first half to seal the deal early. This wasn't just any win, it marked our third consecutive home victory, something that has been a bright spot in what has otherwise been a challenging campaign. The atmosphere was electric, with fans filling the stands and pushing the team forward. Sunderland, back in the top flight after promotion, put up a fight, but United's defense held firm and we controlled the game with relative ease after taking the lead. Now, the big talking point was the lineup choice. Mason Mount got the nod in the starting 11, replacing summer's signing Matheus Cunha, who found himself on the bench. This raised a few eyebrows among fans and pundits alike, given Cunha's electric start to life at United earlier in the season. In other news, Gary Neville thinks Ruben Amorim is not off the hook, despite Manchester United's important 2-0 win over Sunderland. In the latest edition of the Gary Neville podcast, the Sky Sports pundit gave his verdict on Manchester United's win over Sunderland. Neville hit back at claims from Ruben Amorim that criticism of the players is affecting their belief in his system. The victory lifts United up to 9th in the Premier League table ahead of Sunday's fixtures, heading into the international break. However, Amorim said ahead of the game that he is convinced criticism from within the media is affecting his players and their confidence in his much-maligned 3-4-3 system. He said, "My players, I guarantee you, they are listening to all the opinions, and they are putting that inside because we are not winning games. They have to believe in me. So my biggest problem is that my players believe in you guys when you say the problem of our team is the system." Meanwhile, Mason Mount felt the character shown by Manchester United was a key factor in helping the Reds to victory over Sunderland at Old Trafford. Mount's 8th-minute finish provided the perfect start for United, curling a low shot home in front of the Stratford end after brilliantly bringing down Brian Mbeumo's right-wing cross. Mason Mount, selected ahead of Matheus Cunha, scored a fine opening goal before Benjamin Sesko netted at Old Trafford for the first time in front of his home supporters. Sunderland struggled to cope and even switched to 3-4-3 in a bid to alter the flow. Shifting to focus to Benjamin Sesko makes exciting prediction after Manchester United goal. "I will show that." Manchester United striker Benjamin Sesko promised he will continue to improve after scoring against Sunderland. Sesko eases pressure on Amorim as Manchester United avoid Sunderland slip Ruben. Amorim will be pleased the only storm Manchester United had to navigate was provided by the skies. The head coach witnessed a rare comfortable victory against Sunderland to alleviate the pressure on him for a fortnight at least. Elsewhere, there were flashes from Regis Lebris's side that hinted at their confident start to the campaign. Bertrand Traoré almost opening the scoring, and Granit Xhaka firing off a shot. They also thought they had a penalty against Sesko, but VAR rightly overruled it. Now, let's look at Mason Mount. And Benjamin Sesko scored their first home Premier League goals for the club. Although, having joined 2 years apart, that indicates some of the problems Amorim has been dealing with. Apart from a brief scare on a penalty that never was, life was straightforward for United as they secured a third win and first clean sheet of the season amid downpours and gales. But like the Old Trafford roof, the hosts did their job. In other news, Senna Lamens kept a clean sheet on his Manchester United debut to help ease some of the pressure on his boss, Ruben Amorim. Mason Mount and Benjamin Sesko scored the goals in United's 2-0 win over Sunderland, but the crowd enjoyed the goalkeeper's display. Lamens' best save came late in the game when he kept out a Kemsdine Talby effort with his legs, but the Belgian goalkeeper was hardly overworked. There were bigger cheers when he claimed a cross in stoppage time, his second good claim of the game. However, Man United goalkeeper Altay Bayindir shows true colors after being axed for Senna Lamens' Altay. Bayindir was dropped for Manchester United's 2-0 win against Sunderland, as Ruben Amorim handed new signing Senna Lamens his debut in the Premier League clash. Turning on to Man United, handed penalty verdict versus Sunderland as Premier League explained VAR decision. The Premier League have issued a statement on why a penalty was overturned during Manchester United's game against Sunderland at Old Trafford. The Premier League Match Centre have explained why Sunderland's penalty against Manchester United was overturned following a VAR review. In stoppage time of the first half, with United leading 2-0, Benjamin Sesko was penalized for a foul on Tri-Hume. Stay tuned because this could change everything this season. The mood at Carrington today was nothing short of electric, tense, fiery, and charged with that unmistakable Premier League intensity. Manchester United trained with one eye firmly on Saturday's colossal clash at Old Trafford against Sunderland. And make no mistake, this is not just another routine fixture on the calendar. This game is a high-stakes showdown that could define the very future of Ruben Amorim as the Red Devils manager. Yes, you heard that right. After last weekend's gut-wrenching 3-1 defeat away at Brentford, the pressure on Amorim has skyrocketed. The board, the fans, the pundits, all eyes are on Old Trafford this Saturday. United cannot afford another slip-up. Not in front of the Stratford end, not under the glaring Premier League spotlight, and certainly not when the manager's fate hangs by a thread. Inside Carrington today, sources report an intense, no-nonsense session. The players were pushed hard, sweating through drills designed to iron out the mistakes that have plagued United all season. Amorim has been obsessed with perfecting his 343 tactical setup, a system he believes can unlock this squad's potential, but only if executed with surgical precision. The session focused on fast transitions, crisp passing, and positional discipline. Every player was drilled to perfection on their role in the new formation, with special emphasis on pressing triggers and rapid counterattacks. Set pieces were another highlight. Corners, free kicks, and defensive organization were practiced relentlessly. The so-called corner blocking system received particular attention, as everyone knows Sunderland will aim to test United's aerial frailties with aggressive physical play in the box. Make no mistake, this is a tactical chess game, and Amorim is determined to have all his pieces firing on all cylinders. But here's what makes today particularly fascinating: the spirit around the squad. Sources close to the training ground suggest a united front behind Amorim. Key players like Bruno Fernandes, Mateus Cunha, and Kabi Mainu were in full leadership mode, driving intensity, shouting instructions, and making sure that no energy slipped away. Confidence is palpable. The squad know they have a chance to claim a massive 3 points, not just for themselves, but to safeguard their manager's position. There's a sense of urgency in the air. It's almost do or die. A win could inject a tidal wave of belief through Old Trafford, while a loss could send shockwaves through the club, fans, and media alike. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Sunderland may not scream top-tier opponent, but Premier League veterans know that complacency in matches like this can be fatal. United's inconsistency this season has been brutal, jaw-dropping brilliance one week, alarming collapse the next. Can Amorim finally get his system to click? In other news, Rooney condemns Manchester United's lost soul former star slams current manager's tactics, lack of fighting spirit amid poor form. Rooney said he has no faith in manager Ruben Amorim. He believes Manchester United's soul has gone missing and thinks Amorim won't be able to turn things around. Manchester United lost 1-3 in their away match against Brentford on the 27th, failing to create a turning point. Captain Bruno Fernandes missed another penalty, and the team was outplayed in performance, making it a disastrous game. With 6 league matches played, Manchester United has recorded 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses, placing them 14th. The problem is that there is no sign of improvement. Considering that since Amorim's arrival, the team has earned only 31 points in 31 Premier League matches, even 2 wins in 6 games seems fortunate. However, Amorim shows no intention of changing his philosophy. He continues to insist on a 3-4-2-1 formation, even deploying Bruno in a back 3 role. After the Brentford match, Amorim bluntly stated, If we win, it's not because of my system, but if we lose, it's my system's fault." Expressing frustration, Rooney, who lifted numerous trophies at Manchester United, could not hide his sighs over his former club's decline. Rooney, the club's all-time top scorer, 253 goals, said Manchester United is broken and that he now expects a loss every time. He emphasized that some current players do not deserve to wear the Manchester United jersey and that the team needs a new engine. He also criticized the club's management. Rooney stated, "I don't see any hope right now. Big changes are needed. Whether it's the manager, players, or anything, if it can revive Manchester United, it must be done." However, despite Rooney's warnings, the Manchester United board has no plans to replace Amorim in the near future. Some speculate that the club has considered Gareth Southgate